This is Mission Control Houston, now an hour and 15 minutes into today's planned 7-hour spacewalk to replace a failed pump unit as part of the cooling system on the exterior of the International Space Station. Tracy Caldwell-Dyson and Doug Wheelock moving along and doing a good job of keeping on the timeline for their tasks. Both of them working at the S1 area of the truss structure as they prepare to remove the failed pump module from the cooling system.
In other words, where the same truss member that the P-clamps were just disconnected from, down at the very bottom where it meets the cedar rail, the truss thins out there. It gets a little bit thinner. I'm going to wrap a long wire tie around there and temp sew those skids inside of the truss on that truss member.
Hi, copy, Wills. That sounds like a good plan.
Again, all this work is ongoing now because of a failure that occurred last Saturday of the pump module that's used to circulate ammonia through the huge radiators that are used to get rid of excess heat generated by the electronic components on board the International Space Station. Crew successfully installed several jumpers that allowed for the best possible redundancy of station systems, and some of the external systems on the station are cooled by only one of the two redundant cooling loops, A and B, of this ammonia system. Again, the ammonia is used on the outside of the station to reject the excess heat, and a heat exchanger allows it to take the excess heat from the water-based cooling system on the inside of the station. Throughout this past week, while flight controllers on the ground worked to develop procedures for this pump removal and replacement, the conditions inside the station have been pretty much normal for the International Space Station crew. Thanks to some work they did immediately after the failure to configure those jumpers so that the best possible system configuration could be working.
After they, that's what we were just talking.
The biggest change to the crew has been that they have refocused their attentions from the scientific investigations inside the station onto preparations for the spacewalk. They had been already scheduled to conduct a spacewalk on Thursday, but it was for a completely different purpose. Those tasks have been put off until we can complete this more critical removal and replacement of the pump module.
So was the plan that I would straighten the arms and then
right, so what you'll do is release the...
deploy it?
Yep, you'll release the wire ties, straighten the arm out, and then you'll have to deploy that sleeve over that locks the arm straight out, and then you'll lay the arms parallel to the truss.
Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston. Oscar Kaler, the Intervehicular Activity Support Officer here in Mission Control, going up to Doug Wheelock, that the EVA folks here on the ground are seeing that these quick disconnect valves on the ammonia lines that he's going to be removing are not lining up. You can see the center line there is M2. It has a white area that is exposed. That shows that the bale is in the full open position. On the two outside lines, the M1 and the M3, we're not seeing that white line, and so Wheelock is being offered the opportunity to check that and make sure that those are in the full open position. He's got a special tool he's pulling out of his tool bag right now that he can use to get some additional leverage if he needs to make that set up properly connected up so that he's ready to go with removing those ammonia lines. They want to make sure that they're completely open so that they're disconnected, and that is expected to help minimize the release of any ammonia, which we don't want contaminating the spacewalker spacesuits.
We're talking about, do we want you to push the button or not push the button when you try to move the bale?
Good figure out this tool. Okay. Fully forward.
Okay. Press the button to move the bail aft.
Okay, Oscar, it's hung up again where I got a full white band, but the button is stuck down. It's not extended, so I should try to open it again, yeah?
Okay, stand by, Wheels. Wheels, if you want, we think the scoop may give you a little better hammer. You have a go to attempt with the scoop on the button.
Okay.
And Wheels, if you want to pull and try to tap at the same time, that's okay.
Roger.
So I got a hand on it, but I can't see what you're doing, so I'm blind.
Okay, it's full forward, Oscar.
Awesome. Push that button down.
Okay, let me get that lever tool. No snap back again. No kick back. It's okay.
And there's a big round of applause down here.
Get it, Will?
Oh, yeah, we got it.
Here we go.
And so at 12:20 p.m. Central Time, Doug Wheelock using a scoop tool to bang on the detention button on that Baki connector. He succeeded in closing the valve so that he can make final preparations to demate that device. We're still standing by to hear whether or not that's what they want to do here in Mission Control. But applause in the control room as he was able to get that bail open and get the quick disconnect ready to go.
Open. Raise my visor.
That was a little sporty right there.
This is Mission Control Houston, now 6 hours, 26 minutes into today's spacewalk by Doug Wheelock and Tracy Caldwell-Dyson. The team on the ground has worked with the crew to put this final connector that has been bulky throughout the spacewalk into a safe configuration. They've reinstalled it onto its connection on the pump module and installed a spool positioning device. That's a device that's added to these quick disconnects to allow them to function optimally. These devices have been installed around the station on these fluid lines in many different locations. There has been evidence of some leakage of the ammonia from within the system, and that has clearly come in contact with the spacewalkers in several different times during the spacewalk. Just to to qualify that ammonia as a hazardous substance, but this is by no means the first time spacewalkers have come into contact with ammonia outside the space station. There is a standard procedure for inspection of each of the two spacewalkers' spacesuits to look for any visible evidence of ammonia that might be clinging to their spacesuits, and they will have a specific period of time in which they will basically bake out in the vacuum of space so that any residual ammonia can sublimate and leave their spacesuits before they come back inside the airlock.